Hey y'all, hey. It's Heather with Velvet and Vines Design. We're gonna try this again. The storm has passed, so we're good to go. I know that was a little bit creepy though, y'all. We're working on a Halloween piece and the dang electric flashes and goes out. That's not good. Anyway, so I'm gonna get us pulled up and get us shared around. So if you're seeing this, you're probably catching take 2 of the replay. Excuse me, I'm fighting a summer cold. So let me get myself shared around and then we'll get into the rest of this week and we'll talk about our Solve It Sunday with Black Dahlia. So yeah, strange, right? Anybody else a little freaked out about that when the electric went out? I was like, you don't say. Right? But we're back. We are back. So, all right. So I have some groups that I can share from my personal page, some groups that I can share from my business page. So it's a whole thing. It's a couple, it takes me a couple of seconds. So, but I'm on my last leg here, I promise. All right. All right. I think I'm good. Okay. All right, so hey, Lori, I went and checked to see if you were going to go live, and you didn't. I kept checking. I was waiting for my grocery pickup. So I did get some things accomplished, y'all. I went ahead and got grocery pickup, got all of that stuff put away. The storm has passed, so it's just doing a little drizzle right now, and there was still, like around 8 o'clock, there was still like a hue from like the sun, and I could tell it wanted to have like a rainbow, but it didn't. But hey, Cindy. Hey, lady. Okay. You talked yourself out of it. I don't like when I do that to myself. I do that a lot too. I did it a lot more when I first started going live. Now that I put a schedule out there, that's actually why I put a schedule out there. I do it more to make myself commit than I do for anything else. Because if I don't, then every night I will come up with an excuse. Oh, I don't need to do this. I don't need to go live. I'll just record it and do a reel. So I totally feel you. Okay, I did do one change on this since we were together live on the last time. So what I'm going to do is, since we are on a take 2, I'm going to get everybody up to speed to where we are, what we're making, and then we're going to go in and finish it. And actually, this little break was really maybe good for me because I really got to visualize kind of what I wanted to use with some of this bigger succulents and how I wanted to work in ribbon, because I was kind of not sure. I don't know if any of you do that, but I'll start my projects and I'll have a really good idea, but there are some things that I don't have planned out at all, and the project just kind of takes me through it. So the ribbon was one of those. I had it picked out, but I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I think I've got that figured out in my head, so maybe it'll help. So I'm going to walk everybody through where we are with the project, and then I'll get right into finishing it up, and we'll start talking about the Black Dahlia. So that's the mystery case, or the unsolved case, that we're talking about tonight. I just want to make sure everybody, be careful about what you put in the comments. I don't want anybody to get into any kind of Facebook jail because we say any kind of words that are iffy or caught by like a bot or something like that. So just be careful about what you say. You can use terms like unalive or things like that, but just know that you're not going to, it's a gruesome case, so you're gonna have to be filtered in what you say. So that's that. So if you haven't done any of the homework on the Black Dahlia, I'm sure you've heard of this. This happened many years ago. It was in the 70s, right? It was in January of the 70s. I forgot the year. Oh my gosh, it literally has left my mind. So just left Deb's. Just, oh, thank you, Viv. I don't expect anybody to do that, right? And if you want to bounce back and forth between, I do that too. Sometimes I have 2 devices, literally you all on 2 different lives, so that my friends can have support. I know that's crazy, but it's what we do. All right, hey Tony. Yeah, it went off, and then it went back on, and then it went off again, and then it went back on again. So I was like, and it was hard thunder by then. So I was like, I'm just gonna go get my groceries and just kind of, do something else with that time. So that's what I did. So we're back. All right. Laptop, phone, and iPad all on different lives. I know. And my husband, and Bobby's like, my husband's Bobby, he's like, you can't possibly watch all of this at the same time. I'm like, hey, you have the Orioles game on and watch TikTok videos. How's that different? You know me? Right, exactly. It's not. Okay, so here's where we are. Excuse me, like I said, I'm getting a summer cold. Bleh. So this was just a wood candlestick. And I'm going to be honest, I'm a collector of candlesticks. I love them. There's not a candlestick that doesn't sing to me. So I can't promise where I got it from, but you could really go with anything. I went with the smallest because I was intending to make this a tall project that I had. So I had a wood candlestick that I went in and I spray painted with this metallic spray paint, right? Worked out perfect. Literally only one coat. It's fantastic paint. So that's what we did with the candlestick. Then this is just one of those cone, like tree-shaped foam, the green hard foam cones. If you go back to the first one's replay, you can see what it looked like before. We covered it in sheet moss. So I wanted sheet moss behind it. Now what I want you to think of is not that this is a Christmas tree or anything like that, because I know it's shaped like a tree, right? I want you to look at this as like a tower that we're going to be putting in a lot of succulents and blooms and greenery. Well, it's mostly succulents. And then I have some skeletons and some skeleton heads and things like that we're going to pop in there too. So it's just think of it as kind of like a creepy tower. I have some longer pieces that'll kind of, you know, flow all over the sides. And I have a little bit of ribbon and I have this really big succulent. So I showed you I had two of these, right? I'm not going to use both of them. I figured this out when I was driving. I get the best ideas when I'm driving in the car. Anybody else? But I'm going to actually make him a bow right here, a smaller, you know, bow. I have some velvet ribbon. Then I'm going to work in all the colors. So I have two different colors of purple that I'm using tonight, black and silver. Those are pretty much the colors, okay? Other than the green of the succulents. So I'm going to work in two velvet ribbons to match the velvet head, okay? So that's what I'm going to work in. And then I think I'm going to use this Beetlejuice one. I used this in that Halloween swag and it was fantastic and I really liked it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this big succulent kind of underneath of his chin. I'm going to do the bow first and then the succulent will kind of be underneath the bow, if that makes sense, right? And then we'll use the smaller succulents and stuff around. So that's kind of what I'm thinking on that. He has a top hat. So we used the cone, we covered it in the sheet moss, and then I attached his head. Now, when you watched the first one, I just used hot glue, but when the power kept flickering, I kind of played with it and I could wiggle it off. So what I did was I went in with, you know, just a regular barbecue skewer. So I skewered up inside of his head and then I made it a pick. So now it's really secure in there. So it's not just hot glued in. So I just want to make sure you know that too, because that's a different process than what you saw. Okay, so now we have him on there. Then we have a top hat. And I'm going to do some jazzing up of this top hat too. I might put some moss on it. I've got this skeleton bird that I'm toying with what I want to do. I've got these skeletons. I'm envisioning one of them sitting on like the brim. So we're going to do some stuff like that. I'm going to do the hat last. That is going to be like the icing on the cake because I constantly grab the top to anchor to push things in, so I don't want to squish that hat, okay? So that's kind of the idea. That's where we are. So now we're at this point, right? Oh, and I did just hot glue some creepy moss on the side of this, and I did it now before I had kind of the things flowing down so I didn't have anything to move. Okay, so that's where we're at. Whew. The moss is messy. And so now I'm going to go in with that bow and stuff that we talked about, and we can talk about the black dahlia. Now for a hot second, when I do the bow, I am going to have to turn him towards me, but for now, I'll let him creep y'all out, okay? All right, so with that, I'm going to check some comments, and then let's get talking about this unsolved mystery, because notice I'm not using the other M word, because it is super gruesome. It had a ton of publicity, and the way and the manner of which it was done and how she was left, and for there to be not a trace, it's just unreal, right? Crazy. You wish you had 3 screens. You love your craft. I know. Multitasking. Yeah. All right. So I'm working off of this little phone that I can hardly see. So if I miss your comment, I apologize. If there's something that you want to know where I got or how I did it or whatever, if I don't see it, ask again. It does not bother me one bit if you ask me 3 times in the comments, because if I'm not seeing it, then clearly, you know, my problem, not yours, right? I can see a little bit in front of me a little bit better. Here's the problem is that, okay, so I'm telling y'all my stuffs. I do wear bifocals. I have the progressive lenses so that you can't see the lines in it, but it means that to see smaller print, I have to look in the bottom lens, but that means I look up like this and then you see up my nose. It's like, so probably not my best look, right? So, hey Angel, how are you, sweetie? All right. So Lori, you gotta stop talking yourself out of going live. I love watching you. You're so excited about what you make and what you're doing, and everybody that's there to spend time with you, like you literally just draw smiles, lady. So stop doing that. But it's so hard, though. I do understand, though, it is hard, like, planning out the makes and things like that. And then sometimes, you know, not everything that you're making for a customer you can maybe do on a live. So I understand. I'm telling you, those 10 days of lives, I had so much respect for Patricia. I just did 10 days of lives. She did 3 times that with 30 days of lives. It is a lot, y'all. It really is a lot, you know? Look, you can hear, my son Crew is on the VR, so if you can hear him. I already had a talk with him about it. He promised me he was gonna be quiet. That's his quiet, y'all. I love him. He tried grapes tonight. So I've been sharing with you guys along the way in my journey. I feel like this is part of, like, you know, it's not just making a wreath. I say that a lot. It isn't. It's not just making a wreath. But you know, my little guy is on the spectrum. He's autistic, so he has a really big problem with foods, and so he's 9, and I know don't scowl at me, but he doesn't eat any meat, no vegetables, no fruit. I know you're probably like, how is he living? Off of cereal and bagels and Cheez-Its. And yeah, that's literally what yogurt does. Love yogurt. That's good, right? Little something. So anyway, we've been talking to him about how he needs to improve his diet and things like that. It really started with the dentist. The dentist kind of got on him about the soda, and then also talked to him about sugar. And that's all it takes is usually one person of authority to express something to him, and then he's on it. He is on it. So he's learning all the things about sugar and all of that, and so he's tried 3 different fruits now. So the other day he tried watermelon. He did like it. He hasn't ate it since, but he did like it. Then the next day he tried, what was the other fruit that he tried? I shared it with y'all. It was watermelon. It wasn't a strawberry. I don't remember now what it was, but it was another fruit. And then tonight he ate a grape. So y'all, we are making progress. I'm gonna take it. Yes, go Crew. I know. And that's, you know, he said, I'm eating healthy. So matter of fact, like old manish, like the way he talks. So funny. It's just time. He said, it's time. It's time I'm gonna eat healthy. With your 1 grape. But I'm very, very proud about the 1 grape. All right. All right, last little ribbon. I figured since we had a velvet skeleton, we had to have the velvet ribbon. Am I right? This is so thick. Oh my word. Okay. All right. So let's talk Cindy. Oh, hey, Cindy. You were stalking my page. I was stalking her page too. Not my page. We were stalking Lori's page. But all right. So let's talk about the Black Dahlia because this saw this Sunday. So y'all, I don't know if you did any. I read some of the research. What I'm forgetting right now is the date. But what I read about this is, so this young lady, you know, she was an up and coming, we'll say it like that, right? An up and coming actress. they did bring up, like some of the Wikipedia that I read, it did bring up that she had like an arrest record. I think it was only like one time. I want to say it was like underage drinking or something like that. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. I don't like when they do that though in cases like that, because I'm not sure if they're trying to imply, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say, where they're trying to imply character or something like that because she was underage drinking. I mean, whatever, everybody underage drinks. You can fight for your country at 18. You should be able to have a beer, in my personal opinion, and I don't even drink, so. So they were saying, oh, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. Hi, Laura. How are you? Thanks for joining me again for take 2. I really do appreciate it. Y'all, I'm just picking this bow. So all I did was just add a pick on the end of it. I used my zip tie. And I'm going to move Scully to face me for a hot second so that I can put this on. But yeah, so, and they said, so they found her, or she was found. They actually thought she was a mannequin laying in the street because she had been bilaterally dissected. Okay, so do you know what I mean by that, right? Right? All the way. It's pretty gruesome, but not a drop of, you know, fluids that are red. I'm trying to be careful. So how weird is that? So they thought, you know, some of their suspects were actually medical school students because they thought that there might be something with how clean the dissection was. It was very, apparently meticulously done. So they know that she wasn't ended there where they found her. They know that she was dropped. But just how awful, right? And even though they said that that's how they found her, I didn't see, and somebody is saying in the comments if they did, I didn't see how, if they found what her true cause of perish was. You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Was she, you know, what happened? I didn't see it. I'm not saying it's not out there. I'm just saying I didn't see it. So all I'm doing right now is doing a curl on my ends. The velvet ribbon, as much as I love it, after some time, it frays a little bit. And so I like to do a fold just to kind of have it. Now this this candlestick piece, now we are going to do the back. However, the skeleton only has one face. Unlike people that we know that are two-faced, right? Right? Well, almost someone like that, right? So he only has one face. So we are going to make it, you know, this is going to be somewhat of a front-facing piece, even though we're going to make the back pretty too. Okay. All right. Okay. I just wanted to, now look, I'm not going to curl any ribbon yet. I'm not going to do any of that. So this is all we're at, right now. Now, you know, I like to put stuff all up in there, right? So that's not where we're leaving it, but we got to work on our succulent. Oh, thank you. Laura, that was very nice of you to say. I really appreciate that. Neighbor's kid loved dry fruit and baked veggies. Huh. Because it's definitely a texture thing. Like tonight with the grapes, he really tried. But y'all know how, you know, grape is, I love grapes, but you know, it's a different texture, right? It's definitely texture things with him. And so he kind of ate the one, and he was like, oh. So then he just kept like sucking the juice. He's like, oh, this juice is fabulous. Just fantastic, so healthy. He cracks me up with that. Or he's trying to like convince you that it's healthy. I'm like, oh my gosh, Curl, crack me up. So, all right, I'm gonna turn this around, and this is where I want this really big succulent. Is like, okay, I thought I did, but if this end wasn't on it, I wonder if I could cut this off. Let's see. Oh, look at me, mini pearl with the price tag on it. Y'all are not letting me put the price tag on here. Hold on, I gotta cut this. There, yes, I can. Fantastic. Because I want it like right up to the piece. I don't want it sticking off. All right, let's repick it. So what'd you all get into this weekend? I don't know what I think, but I'm gonna let you see it, and we're gonna work around it. I don't know. I might end up ripping that out. I might end up loving it. I never know. I just never know. You never know with me. This is a little bit too long here. All right. All right. Let's go in and let's do more like succulents and things around it and see where it goes. Like it might look a little bit off right now because there's nothing else in there. So let's just see. I like to give things a chance. Put a pick on it. I keep forgetting that I got to go through a sheet of moss. So I'm pretty sure that nothing on its stem can actually go through. Oh, I love that. It looks like a boil. I'm odd, y'all. I'm odd. Just letting you know. I look like Kate Middleton. I've not had people say Kate Middleton. Wait, Kate Middleton, like that's the one that married Prince Harry, right? Kate Middleton? I've had people say, so it used to be when I was younger, people always told me that I looked like the redhead that was on. So my natural hair color is auburn. I started dyeing my hair when I was 42. So 3 years ago, I started dyeing my hair because my hair comes in stark white. If anybody else is a redhead, you know that your grays come in stark white. They look like tinsel, y'all. So I had to give up. And I used to try to pluck them, and then I was like, you know, I just gotta dye it. But they can never really get my real color because it was very like copper, auburn. It was very different color. So anyway, kind of embraced that I can dye it, and now I kind of have a little red tone, but it's more of like a brown and blondes, right? So anyway, I bring that up to say, because I was a redhead, you know, people always, now when I was really young, people told me that I looked like Daisy Fuentes, who's Cuban. I'm a redhead with freckles. So that was a little bit funny, but okay. But then then when I got in like my 20s and 30s, it was more, she was the redhead in Boogie Nights. That was like the main character. What was her name? Julianne Moore? Julianne Moore? Is that it, y'all? Did I remember it right? Julianne Moore. Anyway, I got that for a long, long time. I think it was the freckles. And now, recently, I've gotten this several times in the last like year. People tell me I look like Lady A or Lady Antebellum. I'll take any and all of those things. I find any and all of those things a great compliment. So I just want to show you what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like going around and like putting in like around. Remember, I've got flowers too. Actually, let's put in a couple of blooms so that we can see what this looks like, because it's actually not that much surface area. I know it looks like it is, but it's really not. But no, I haven't gotten Kate Middleton, but she's beautiful, so thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else agree that the worst thing is like, next to the flu, is like a summertime cold? Anybody else? What is up with a summertime cold? Like, the virus shouldn't even be able to live in the summer. It should have like a temperature resistance. Oh, yeah, Cindy tells me that she looks like, I bet, I look like, not she, I look like her daughter. I must have a lot of doppelgangers out there, though, because as much as I have traveled, so you can see where I put the gray bloom, as much as I have traveled, almost every time somebody tells me oh my gosh, you look just like, insert somebody's name that they know, like somebody personally. You look just like my friend's sister. You look just like my teacher. You. I'm like, okay, cool. I must have that face then that I look. So this is all I'm doing. It's just like finding places, right? That I just must look, you know, familiar, right? Fight me. Cindy, you are a trip. All right, so back to the black dahlia, because that is why we're here. Part of it, right? To talk about, right? I'm going to go down farther with this bloom down here. See what I'm just kind of going all over, mixing and matching. This is what I do when I make things. I mix and match. Very seldom will you see me go in with all of one thing and all of another thing. And it's funny because this is the same way that I eat my food. I dance around my plate. Anybody else do that, right? Like my husband and my middle son, literally, when they make their plate, nothing can touch. Numero uno. The other thing is that they, both of them, eat all of one thing before they move on to the other thing. Does anybody else do that? Hey, Lonnie. Yes, I'm back. Oh, Laura, thank you. But they eat all of, like, if they have mashed potatoes, peas, and a meat, right? And even their biscuit, they'll eat, no doubt, they eat the bread first, then they'll eat the mashed potatoes, then they'll eat the meat, then they'll eat the peas, right? It's not, I dance all around. My peas are mixed in with my mashed potatoes. I have bites of everything going on in my mouth. And I'm the same way when I design. I like to move around, dance around between the pieces. It helps me get a feel for what I'm making. Thanks, Vivian. Some people were like, I'm not sure where you're going with that. And I'm like, you know what, y'all? I don't know where I'm going with it. You know, it's part of the fun. But I do, oh, look at that. I leaned too hard, cracked my glue on here. So, well, now I can't lift it back up. All right. I did E6000 and I did hot glue on this. All right, let's just make sure that I use my hand more to anchor and stop doing that. Look at that little weirdo. Is that not odd? I love a succulent, y'all. Plus, I said this to somebody else. Sounds naughty to say. Doesn't it? Succulent. I'm going to try this same thing with the cone on a candlestick for Christmas. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to work in a little bit of purple because I feel like we need that in our lives. So we're going to work in a little bit of this thistle. We still have some more blooms, but let's see. I don't want the ones with the yellow in the middle. So let's work with the other pieces. Okay. I'm just going to cut a few pieces off so we can just kind of like put this bush aside and I can use the space. So does anybody have any theories on the black dahlia? No one? I'm thinking it's maybe like a coroner or a doctor. That's what I kind of think. Just for somebody to be able to do that to someone, you know what I mean? I think that's it's got to be a medical professional, in my personal opinion, or someone with medical training. It could be like a paramedic, right? Could be like that. All right, that's all I'm going to use off of that. Isn't it weird how sometimes, like in some of those cases, like they'll find that the perpetrators are like people that are in helpful, like roles where you're supposed to trust them, implied trust. You know what I mean? That implied trust thing. We have a lot of, and I mean, you probably do too, or we're not the only ones, but a lot of like sex trafficking crimes around here. See that? And my son Taylor actually does. He's my oldest son Taylor. He's the one that's the personal trainer and also does the MMA fights. But he goes to the college and they give, glue strings everywhere. They give self-defense training to the girls coming in each semester because it's so bad. And then they actually had a, so again, position of implied trust, right? They actually had someone in our local restaurant and bars that was like going around and drugging girls, not to do anything to them. They just thought it was, this is disgusting to even say, but they thought it was funny. Like they didn't do anything to the girls, but they would get drugged. Isn't that crazy? I don't think I've ever been drugged. I'm pretty sure. I've definitely had some bad hangovers. But I just would never take like drinks from somebody I didn't know. I would never leave my drink. I would not take a drink unless I saw it come from the bartender when I was younger and I would go out. I just can't imagine being a young girl nowadays and having to think about all of those things when you just want to go out and have a good time with your friends, you know? It is. It's everywhere. It is. And I feel so scared, you know? I have boys. I don't have girls. And it still scares me. And if I had a girl, holy moly. A girl in college? Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I'd have tracking apps on her. Not because of her, but because I'd want, I'd need to know. I would need to know. So you can see how we're kind of like working this in now. Is it starting to make a little bit of sense? Is it still a little crazy? Still a little crazy? Look. Is it starting to look a little something? We're going to go with a couple more blooms, and then I'm going to do some of the length on the bottom. I have some fun pieces for that. So scary. Yes, it is, Michelle. This world's nuts. And we have such a it's such a I don't even want to call it a culture, but it's like this thing where people are supposed to quote unquote mind your business. You hear that a lot? Mind your business. I'm sorry, but if you see someone behaving badly, whether it's to another child or to another person or whatever, sometimes I feel like minding your business is enabling and not helping someone that needs it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. My husband and I disagree immensely over this because he's way more of a mind your business kind of person, and I'm way more of a, hey, that's not right. But I don't know. And his point is very valid because he says, he's like, Heather, people are crazy nowadays. They will shoot you over something, you just expressing your opinion or telling them. But I don't know. I can't help myself. Especially when it comes to my kids. Like, y'all don't have a kid that's like picking on some other kid or something around me because I'm gonna mother them. I'm sorry, but I am. You're just gonna have to take it up with me, but I'm gonna mother them. Where you? That's probably what I'm gonna say. Well, where were you when your kid was being mean? I'm probably gonna get myself in trouble. It's a good thing I have the kid that I do, right? My son, Taylor. I just call him up, be like, hey, your mom needs backup because her mouth is big. He'll be like, I know. He will too. He'll be like, I know. Yeah, don't mess with my kids. It's, for the most part, my father has the patience of Job. My father is the kindest, nicest man. I know there were moments that I was an absolute turd to him as a teenager, and that man never raised his voice to me, never, nothing. Like, he just, that's how he is. So, I have a lot of his traits. Like, I'm patient like he is. You know, I'm pretty empathetic, you know, like my dad is. You know, my dad thinks about other people. He's super kind and sweet and all the things, and he's just a really, just I love him. But then there's these moments that I forget all about where I come from, and I'm like, whoa. And it's usually over my children. My children, my man. Like, don't be acting a fool, my man, either. Yeah, I will snap you up in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Not even care. I'll worry about bail later. Don't worry. And I don't have any problems with saying it either. Like, that gif of Beth Dutton where that girl in the bar, like, wants to hit on Rip, and then she sees Beth across the bar, and she comes over there to, like, talk to her, and Beth Dutton, like, smacks her over the head with a beer bottle. I got tagged in that a couple times. They're like, I'm like, still don't come for my man. I don't know. You can't hear anything? Oh, let's see. Let's see. I have volume. Can everybody else hear me? Hey, Audrey. You're not late. Yeah, I love that. She's my spirit animal. Dory is my business spirit animal. Beth Dutton is my personal one. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, I thought you said you can't hear me. Sorry. All right, so you can see where we're going with this, right? Like, it's starting to make a little bit of sense. Maybe you might still be like, oh, Heather, no. But I kind of like it. It's really creepy. I need to do some of the length here. So that's what we're going to go in and do. And then I'm going to go back, because you remember I have some skeleton heads and things like that. I'm going to go back and fill in some of the bare spots. But we've got a lot of the different, I'm going to hold it up so that you can see it closer. So we've got a lot of the different succulents in there, and some of the blooms, and some of the thistles. So you see how it's kind of like all worked in there. It's different, y'all. It's definitely different. Love me through it. Oh. Hey, Sydney, I didn't see you here. Hey, Audrey. I said hi to you, right? Hey, Karen, I see you. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I would much rather be nice, though. That's definitely more my style. I love to be nice and friendly. That's where I naturally go. I can be ignorant. That's probably all of us, right? All of us have like a protective instinct. All of us mama bears. And and like friends, right? Like I don't normally jump to my friends' defense unless somebody starts questioning their character, and then I'm all up in it. Because I feel like, I don't know, catch me and tell me if you feel differently, but I feel like, we're adults, right? So we don't need other adults fighting our fights. Supportive, yes. Listening, absolutely. Sounding board, for sure. But you don't need we don't need mean girls. You don't need to gang up on people, right? That's my feeling. But there's just certain times, though, that sometimes it's just hard to defend yourself against. And character assassinations, I think, are one of them. Because it's really, really hard for you to say, I'm a great person, and not sound like a jerk, right? When somebody's trying to assassinate your character, when they're trying to be like, oh my God, you're such a terrible person. For you to quit that, I'm a great person, sounds kind of not great personish, right? You know what I mean? So that's when I feel like my friends need me. So that's when I will say something, because it's hard. That's a hard thing to defend on your own. But other than that, I just try to stay out of it. Right? Yeah, I'm a mama bear too. I'm a mama bear too. Hey, Cindy, how are you, lady? So for those of you that are just joining in, we are making this Halloween candelabra. We're on take 2 because we had a storm roll in and the power went out and flickered a couple of times. So I went ahead and got my groceries and all of that good jazz, and then we came back to it. So this is on a candlestick base that I have spray painted silver. On the top of it, I put one of those styrofoam cone trees. So you can see I'm just adding in some of the length, and I've got some other pieces to work in it too. That's why I'm not going around like in a constant, like I've got some black pieces and some purple. But I put a styrofoam comb on that, and then we covered that with sheet moss. And then we've gone in, we added a velvet pumpkin for the top of the head. We skewered that in the top. And then we've stuck in succulents and all kinds of fun blooms and black roses and gray dahlias and purple, whatever you want to call them. We got some purple thistle in there, a lot of succulents. And now we're just making it grow longer. We got some moss that we put on the end of it. And y'all, I was even thinking, I have some black and white pheasant feathers. I was thinking at the very least of putting one in his hat. So that's his top hat. We have to still do that too. So, okay. Hi, Sandy. I think it will too, Michelle. I appreciate your confidence. You never know how to take, like, when some people are like, that's different. Sometimes I say that to my kids when it's like something where you're like, that's you don't want to be mean. But I understand. Not all things are for everybody. You can't love everything. And Halloween's definitely different. Some people don't even do Halloween at all. I enjoy Halloween because it lets me get a little more different with creatively how I am. I am personally, I'm a little edgy, you know, and how I like to kind of like, you know, my style and stuff like that. I love. So I feel like Halloween kind of works with that personality. All right. So this is what we did with the purple on the bottom. I still need to add in the black. Let me make sure you can see this a little bit better. There we go. When we go to do the top hat, I'll lift him up. Or I'll lift the camera up. Okay, so some of the black things that I have to add in are some of these like weird ferny things. So we're gonna figure out how to get this on. I want them here, down here, but I just need to see. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna just like take them off and pick them so that I can maneuver them where I want. As Lori Perkins would say, I'll put them where I want to. So like that. Now, remember, I haven't finished this end with, or the bottom with the succulents and stuff yet. I wanted to get this part in first so that I didn't have any problems, you know, getting all the picks in and all of that stuff. And then we'll go in, we'll backfill it, we'll do the hat, and we'll be done, y'all. Ooh, so sorry. I keep banging that down. The one tedious part is that every little thing needs to be picked. Because of the sheet moss. Oh, wait, what was that? Oh, dang it. Bless America. Oh, thanks, Cindy. Hey, Becky, hey lady. Bringing that blacked out. Oh, thank you. So what's everybody got planned for their week? Are you gonna... I need to do my mulch. How many weeks have I been saying this, y'all? Like 2 weeks now, right? I just need to do my mulch. I just need to do it. My husband said today he's worked so many days in a row, and he said he's off tomorrow. He's like, I'm gonna go golfing. And he's like, you think we could get that mulch done? I could have my truck back? Yes, dear. There we go. See how we're just adding that in? Like, yes, dear. That does sound like a plan. Your truck is not meant to sit in the driveway and just house mulch. Spackle, tape, paint, install. What was that? Wait, what? A pegboard. Oh, is that what you're doing? Wait. Oh, that's what your plans are. Spackle. You're doing your design space, right? Because y'all, Cindy Moon has a page. It's called The Crafty Parlor. So if you aren't following her, you should follow her, because she said that she is doing her design space because why, Cindy? Because. What are you doing them for? Huh? I think she's gonna go live, y'all. I think she is. So make sure you follow her, so when she does, you can support her. I think that's what's happening. Right, Cindy? Is that what's happening? I feel like that's what's happening. All right, I've got one more of that black pick. It only has a couple of clips. So we'll take a couple more clips, work that in. Then I'll be happy with the dangle. Sorry, I got glue. I can see the little strings. Then I'll be happy with the dangle. So then we'll go back, fill in the succulents, do the hat. Then we'll be good. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for take 2 now. You wish you had a place to go live. You miss having your craft space. Aw, Audrey. That's right, Cindy. She's gonna go live. Audrey, I'm sorry that you don't have a space to go live in. This is my home office and craft room together. It's a spare bedroom that I turned into my home office years ago. And then I didn't start my business until last year. This time last year, it would be 1 year that I've had my Etsy shop open. So I get what you mean. It's so hard because it's a shared, for me, it's a shared space, but it's just, crafts take up a lot of space. So I hope you can find a space that you can go live in. If you want to go live and share. Eventually. That's right. Eventually. Like Cindy's, she's building hers out. Oh, bless Frankie. Our neighbors are having a good time at their house. They got some good music playing and all of that, and I knew he was gonna eventually figure out that they were out there and want to bark, because that's my Frankie boy. He don't like no peoples. He's just like my husband. He don't like peoples. I say that. My husband does like people. He's just, his job makes him not like people. He's so funny. You're like, yes, Carla. It just flickered a couple of times. And then, so I went and did my grocery pickup while it was being all wonky and the storm was happening, but the storm's passed now. So when, for anybody that lives on the coast, like our whole, and I've heard other people say this when they've lived in other areas of the country, but our whole thing is, if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute. It'll change. And that is so true here, because, so there, that's what I've kind of alternated around. So I'm good with that. But that's the case here. When you live on the coast like that, you could have a squall come up out of nowhere when they're not saying that there's rain. You won't get rain. If they're calling for rain, they can even give you like, they could be like, it's 150% chance of rain. You won't get nothing. It's just the nature of the beast. Same with the snow. They always try to predict the snow here. And for those of us that live right on the coast, like, it's just a crapshoot, because all it takes is one little shift of a wind or a temperature difference, and you don't get it. So, all right, I'm going to fill in the rest of this bottom. So see how I had saved that room there on the bottom? So I had room to do, I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with the succulents, and then we'll work on the hat. Okay. I promise it's coming to an end. A she shed. Oh, I will love a she shed. Honestly, I'd love a space, not to sell my designs out of at all. I want to teach workshops, like little in-person, like 10-person workshops. I even have a name for it picked out and everything. I just have to convince my husband to take the plunge. I even made, y'all, let me tell you how serious I am about this. Yeah, and the name is so cool. Like, I could see it in my head, like just all the things and how I would love for it to go, and the things that I would teach, and the types of things I would market, like bridal parties, right? So they could come in and make bridal bouquets, or, like mother-daughter, or like kids club, right? Like, kids love to craft, you know? So, and I would still do my velvet and vines and sell my makes, but that's not what I want. I don't want like a brick and mortar for that. I want, why did I cut that? I don't need that. What am I doing? Y'all, talking, I got all excited. But yeah, I need to convince my husband. He's not sold on the idea yet. And also workshops, like, you don't have to be open Monday through Friday. Or I say Monday through Friday, even the weekends, right? It's not like that. You schedule workshops, you do your workshops. You know, I could only be open one day a week if I wanted to. Just do 2 workshops on a Saturday, right? So, and there's nothing like it around here. Nothing like it. Like, I've done, oh, so anyway, I was saying, I did a startup budget. I did a marketing plan. I sketched out what it would look like where things would go. I made a step and repeat. Y'all, I named it. I just need to do it. So, dreams, y'all. Hashtag dreams and goals. So, any of you have like things like that, like things that you envision or see yourself doing, and you're just like, I just need to get there. Yes, hashtag dreams. Oh, hey, Sue. I'm glad I'm back on too. You see our little wonky Mick? See him? We're getting there. Make it count and work a weekend a month. Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, hey, listen, the way I built my budget, I did cost coverage budget. I didn't do profit budget. I was just like, this is all I need to do to pay the bills and not be in the hole, right? And it was like completely reasonable. It was like 2 workshops a month, and I only needed like half capacity of each of them. Like, I didn't need to sell them out, right? And I'm like, I could do 2 workshops a month at half capacity. Then anything over that is gravy, right? In theory. But again, y'all, I gotta convince the husband. I'm sure it's, he's not an entrepreneurial kind of a spirit like I am. This is who I am. This is how I've always been. This is why I excelled at my career before, because I worked for a startup, you know what I mean? And so it was very much like you had like that entrepreneurial spirit, you know what I mean? It's like just who I am. So, I don't know. Anybody else that way? Like, I don't know. I mean, I love my job. I do. I love my job. There was a time in my life I never saw myself doing anything but my job. I ate, breathed, slept my job. I worked all the time. All the time. Even when I didn't have to, I worked all the time. I've just come to a different point in my life where that's just not what motivates me. Like, I came to this realization that that job doesn't give me what I give it. If I were to get hit by a bus tomorrow, they're just going to replace me, right? Like, I mean, you know, some people might cry for me, right? Because, you know, I can be funny. You know, some people might cry. But other than that, like, do you know what I mean? So, like, why am I doing this for somebody else and not myself? Why am I making all this money for someone else and not myself? So, I don't know. It's just kind of where I'm at right now. So, I mean, I love my job. I love who I work with and all of that. There's no, I don't, you know, but I just have dreams for myself. All right, I'm going to curl this ribbon a little bit. Give myself an idea of what this is going to look like so I can see what I need to fill in. Let me turn it this way so you can kind of see what I'm working with. So the only reason I want to curl this is because I want to see kind of where this ribbon's going to lay to see if I have any holes or anything I need to fill in. I need more. Oh, do you mean my job or you mean the project? Because I'm putting more in it. Yeah, it is. And I don't work for that startup anymore. They got bought by a venture capitalist company, and I just decided to move on because it just wasn't what I wanted. Right? So I'm with a different company now, but I love the people that I work with. Like the president of the company that I work for now, I've known her since she came into the space. You know, I've known her for like 17 years. We have a fantastic relationship. So, so it's not that. It's just, yeah, it just doesn't fill my cup. It just doesn't fill my cup. It used to, but it doesn't anymore. Corporate stuff can be so gross. So, anyway. But I'm gonna have to make a whole lot more money and reads or workshops in order to be able to do anything about it, y'all. So, yeah, my job. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, he's gone through a couple of phases here. That's what you say. You truly just dot numbers at your job. You've been at yours for 34 years. I'll say that. I don't feel like a number. I do feel like I'm a contributing person. You know, I feel like I offer value. It's not that. It's just, I know that if the company doesn't hit numbers and they need to make choices, I could be an easy choice. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? And anybody can be an easy choice. Not that they're picking on me. I don't mean it like that. It's just, you know. And when you work in the corporate world and you live and die by numbers, that is absolutely a reality. So it is not lost on me. All right. I love these succulents. I'm telling you, they're like, I just love them. All right, I want to put this funky one in. Let's see if I can cut it. You worked for the same company for 26 years and they decided you needed to go back to working 12 hours. Isn't that something, Lori? Yeah. And I mean, they'll just, you've given all your time and they'll just make a decision like that impacts you without talking to you. And it just makes you feel, not valued. I know what you mean. Yeah. I know what you mean. And I have too much mouth, and I have my face is a whole lot that it's not good for me to be around things like that. Like if I'm not agreeing with the core things, that's why I left the company that I was at for so long when they were bought by venture capitalists, because I couldn't shut my mouth when the investors would have meetings. And they would want to change a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna work. I can tell you right now, that's not gonna work. You know, but they think they're so much smarter than you know, because they came with all the money. Like, no, if y'all were smart, you would know that what you bought was valuable when you bought it, so you would trust the people that were running it when you bought it, instead of buying it and dismantling it. Or maybe, I don't know. Not that we need to talk about work, but. My girl, my friend Kelly Gustafson that comes in sometimes and that's in the comments, I should, sorry, my nose is like all runny and I'm sitting here wiping it in front of you. I apologize. Let me get a napkin. Ugh. But Kelly that comes in the comments sometimes, she, your Skelly would look badass with some monochromatic rhinestone glued to his head. Ooh, I like it. Hey, Pat. I like it. So my friend Kelly that comes in sometimes, Kelly works at the company that I work at now. I've known her for a long time though. Kelly is, for a while there, she was the only female in the entire world that was an MVP for a certain section of Microsoft that she was. Now there's another one, but for like, she's had that MVP title with them. I want to say it's like 5 years now, 4 or 5 years. And like the first 2.5 years, she was the only female in the entire world. That's pretty flippin' incredible. You know what I mean? Pretty flippin' incredible. And I love her because she's sassy. She's sassy like us, ladies. She will say it. All right. I can see a couple of little holes, but I really want to get to the hat. And I'm going to do the thistle in the holes. That's what I'm going to do. All right. A couple more pieces. We'll get to the hat. I like how you said Carla badass. Y'all, Carla today, look, check out her page. She did a boxwood border around her whole outdoor, like around, you know, like her big archway around her outdoor. Her like her outdoor foyer. That's what I'm trying to get. I can't get the words out. It looked awesome. And she said that she's going to use it for like the holiday to stick picks and things into to decorate it. I think it's a fantastic idea. And she bought, I think they were like, Carla, you said you got them on Amazon, right? They were like boxwood thing. What was that? It was like a, oh, Cindy, thank you for sending me stars. I thought I saw somebody send a gift and it was your star. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Oh, friends. So nice. If you ever send me stars and I miss it and I don't say thank you, I am so sorry. I only saw them one other time and it was after the live. Okay, so I feel pretty good about this. This is the front of him. Okay, so this is the front of him. Now I'm going to show you. This is the back of him. See all those succulents and flowers and succulents and flowers. Okay, now let's do his hat, y'all. You thought you were going to fall off the ladder. Oh, yes, you can watch Mary. We're just going to finish up his hat, and then we're done, girlfriend. So you can catch the replay. Or if you can't catch it tonight, you can certainly catch it tomorrow. I usually will post my final pictures. I already have this listed in my shop. y'all. So if anybody's interested in it, and the link tree I have pinned. Did I pin my link tree this time? I did not pin my link tree this time. It's all right. I think it's on that phone. So thank you, Janice. It's different. It's definitely different. I can see a few more spots that I want something else in it. But we're going to work on the hat right now because otherwise I'm going to pick this apart because it's just who I am. So this is his hat. And I'm going to glue it to his head. But I want to do a little bit of doctoring. So see, it's got that little spider. See the spider on him? All right, so let's do a little bit of doctoring. This is why. Duh, you guys and gals, guess what I forgot to do? The scullies. That's why. All right, I'm gonna keep playing with it. I'm not sure. This is plastic. Ooh, I kind of like that one in there. Like these hidden in, so it's like, oh, like scary skeletons. Because I was trying it with this, and it's too big and bougie. I kind of like these. Yeah? Okay, let's do the hat. I'll squirrel 9 million times. We'll be on here until tomorrow, y'all. Till tomorrow morning. Hey, my dukes. Hey, Penny, you made it. Hey, Janice. All right, so the hat. So the one thing I want to do is I do want to bring in, do I? I don't know. You can see him? So this is kind of what I was thinking. Oh, this must be what it's like to get caught in a fishing net. Good gracious. All right. So I was thinking, like, is he going to bend? I'm going to break him. I wanted him kind of like sitting on the brim. All right, let me do that when he's down here. Okay. This is going to be fun. Like putting glue up his tuchus. Let's see if we can get him to sit. All right, let me hold this for a second. And the Beetlejuice ribbon. Oh, add it. Okay. You want me to? Like around it, you think? You would tell me that as I'm gluing the skeleton on. But actually, that's not a bad idea. Are you putting a bow on the back or front of the side? Wait, this, oh, on the hat? I wasn't gonna do a bow, but Michelle said I should use that Beetlejuice ribbon, and I don't disagree with her. Yes, add a few. Yes, add the skelly heads. Lori said add the skelly heads. We're gonna do that. This even stay on? I feel like he might need some E6000. All right, hold on. Do you think we should add a bow on there or just like wrap it and do it off the back? Is that what you're thinking? Wrap it and do it off the back? Go a little bit longer. All right, let's see, y'all. I can not disrupt my scully. I got it going on over here. I know you can't see it. I promise that I'm working on it that way. I'm working on it with the scully. All right, let's see what happens. Well, I don't know. See, I would have to take, if I did this, I'd have to take this one off. I feel like. What do you think? Wrap 2 loops, no tails. Wrap 2 loops, no tails. Okay. But like take this one off then, because this is kind of like bridal. No? No. If I do that, it's really gonna rip that up. Wrap 2 loops, no tails. Lori. See, it's gonna have to go over top of all of that. I can't get that off. But let's give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna trust y'all. We'll give it a try. See what happens. Right? What if I did the Beetlejuice ribbon on the side of it? I feel like that's too much. Like, look at that. That's too much. Don't you think? Hold on. Let's put this to the side for a hot second. Let's work on this. Like, that's too much. Then here, if I do this, y'all, I'm perplexed. So see if I wrapped it. Let's just wrap it and go over it. And then maybe just do some tails off the back. Is that a she, Scully, or a he? Lori, what would you like it to be? It's not going to be a they. That we know. So it could be a he. It could be a she. Good question, Lori. If she, Skelly, leave the bridal bow. Oh, is that where you were going with it? Well, we could make her a girl. Like I could do some like pearly things on her eyes. Like I could trace her eyes with string of pearls. I have that if it would make her girly. So like maybe trace her orifices, her eye and her nose with pearls, beaded pearls. I don't know. What do you think? And then keep the hat the way it is and put the skeleton on it. Hey, Michelle. I think we're going to go. Jan says wrap it. I think I'm going to leave it the way that it is. I know that's going to disappoint you all, but I'm afraid that if I rip this hat up, it's going to be so ugly underneath of there. And this is like glued on. So all of this is like glued on. So I think, unfortunately, Cindy says tails. Everybody's going to be disappointed. I'm gonna put the ribbon on it, but I don't think I can do the tails. So I will do the ribbon on it. Let's do that. All right. Let me get one of my finger protectors because it's meshed ribbon. So, all right. Let's see. Let's see. So we'll meet in the middle. We're gonna compromise. Okay. Woo. You do you. So I'm actually gonna go with the wrap, but we're not gonna do anything with like the tails or anything, okay? We're gonna compromise. No, I appreciate you all giving me ideas and stuff. I don't mind at all. I am making these things to sell, right? So to me, I feel like, you know, when I get an opportunity to have like a people's choice situation where you guys can guide and help give suggestions and things that, yeah, like I appreciate it. So it doesn't bother me in the least. And then, yeah, I can either choose to use it or not. Right? All right, actually, y'all, I like that. Thanks for the suggestion. Now, I left it the same on the back, though. So what do you think? All right, now let's put the skeleton back on him. Oh, this poor skeleton and his hiney. I wonder if I could, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a Scully head. I'm going to do one of these because that'll be easier to get him to sit. And I can put the skeletons kind of like hanging out. Okay. So we're going to let that glue dry. And we'll put his hat on. I'm going to glue his hat on. I'm going to let you look at it for a hot second. I'm going to put some of those skeleton heads. There we go. I think I am going to go in there with those pearls. I think that that's a really good idea. The pearls around like the eyes and stuff like that. Thank you, Tracy. Sorry, I'm getting a summertime cold, y'all. I apologize. You have to see me wipe my nose and sniffle. I'm sorry. Crew and I are both like coughing up a lung. We sound horrible. We both sound pretty raunchy. It doesn't help that he, ooh, look at that, y'all. Look at him kind of creeping in there. Can you see that one? Is that not, reminds me of, oh, what was that movie with Scream? When he's like, wait, tilting the hat? Ooh, I like that. Try tilting it to add it a movement. Okay, here. Ooh, I like the tilt hat idea. Here, hold on. Let me turn it around so you can see it. Ooh, I like that. We could do it this way too. Like, depending on how you wanted the skeleton. All right, let me add a couple more skellies. So just a different way to do a candelabra, y'all. Just trying something new. And I'm gonna try this tree cone on something for Christmas too. Like, I think that would be really cool if you made it look like a candelabra tree. You could even do like twinkle lights on it. So there's the other skeleton. You could do twinkle lights on it. You could make it all like flower blooms, like all poinsettias or something like that, or all holly. It could be all greenery. Like, you could really just do whatever you wanted. Look at that guy. You see him like peeking out there? Creepy. I'm gonna put him in like that. I want him like a little cacad. There he is. Oh, you're watching a movie. Hey, Jamie. Thank you, Lori. It kind of came together, right? All right. I'm going to show you close up. Now, what do you think? Tilted hat? I kind of like tilted hat, y'all. You know what else I like the thought of? I was trying to see if I have a leftover succulent. And of course I don't see one. Burr. Burr, burr. Oh well. All right, we're going to do the hat. Excuse me. Excuse me, you guys. Sorry about that. So what do you think? Tilted this way? Center? Or tilted this way? What do you think? Tilted hat. Okay, everybody's saying tilted, tilted. We were ready without electricity for 6.5. Oh, is it really hot where you are, my dukes? I'm sorry. Ours just flashed. It wasn't a long thing. I think I'm gonna put it down a little bit, like on the head, like that, like kind of like, you know, kind of like gangsterish, you know, like Al Capone. You know me, like Al Capone-ish. So I'm gonna give you a full. This is what we're working with, yeah. All right, gangsta. Tilted with skull up. So like this, like that, you're saying? I'm thinking that's what you mean, right? Yeah. Good suggestion, Carla. Really good suggestion. All right, I'm just trying to look here where it's meeting And it's mostly on the front and the back, so that's where I'm going to glue it. All right, y'all. Okay. I'm going to turn it just 1 second. I just want to make sure it's rested. Yep, it is. Okay, perfect. I really, you know what? Remember I said pearls? Look at this. Look at the Beetlejuice ribbon. Can you see how it has like little diamonds in it? Can you see that? I'm going to line his eyes and his nose with diamonds. Like this. So I'm going to cut like a strip of this, just one strip. I wonder if I could do it right now. That's what I'm going to do. I won't do it here because I'm going to have to lay him down. You're not going to be able to see him. But I'm going to take this and go around like his eyes. And I'm also going to use, fabric glue instead of hot glue so that you don't see it. But just envision this circulating, going around his eyes because the words are so hard. I'm going to do his eyes and his nose. I might even give him like a gold, like a diamond tooth. Ooh, let's give him a diamond tooth, y'all. I could do that with you right now. I want a diamond tooth. Anybody else want a diamond tooth? I want a diamond tooth. Oh. Probably some people feel like they got a diamond in their tooth as much as they've probably had to spend on their teeth. Gosh sakes, dentists are expensive. My middle son Garrett has to go for a root canal. And it's a root canal that they couldn't do in the office. So we had to call like a special, oh, I don't know what they're called, but it's like a special dentist, basically. Look at that. With this diamond tooth. Stop it. But I had to call a special dentist for him to go in and get a root canal. So I'm sure that's going to be, I'm guessing somehow that's not going to be covered under the typical charges. All right, y'all. This has been really fun. I appreciate you hanging out with me for part 2. We have together spent about 2 hours together tonight. That's been pretty good. You guys have given me really good ideas on how to finish him up. I appreciate it. So I'm going to let a lot of this dry, and then tomorrow when I can set him down, I'm going to do his eyes and around his nose, and then I'll take a picture and we'll post him. So just for one last lookaroo, this is the candelabra that we built out tonight. So that was fun. A little different, right? I probably should have done the stuff on the skeleton before I put the skeleton on, but it was kind of one of them things, just a work in progress. So yeah, black rhinestones. Oh, I have black rhinestones too. Girl, don't threaten me with a good time. Try black rhinestones. You know what I'll do is I'll put both on there and see what looks best, but I'm definitely going to line his eyes. All right, y'all. This has been fun. I really appreciate it. And I'll be on tomorrow night, but not on this channel. I'll be on the Talk of the Tip. I'm doing my Motown Monday, my Motown playlist. Oh, I love it because we can listen to music over there, and it's just so fun. So if you are on the TikTok, it's in my link tree. So you can come on over there, and I'll be posting when I go live. I put it in my Telegram. But it'll probably be a little bit earlier, probably around like 6 or 7 Eastern time. So maybe I get to see you over there tomorrow. I don't know what we're making. But if you have some ideas of something you want to see and you want to tell me, let me know. Otherwise, it'll probably be some kind of a wreath, something fall, or Halloween. Probably Halloween. I need more Halloween. So that's what we're doing, y'all. We didn't solve the Black Dahlia, obviously. Nobody has. We didn't really even talk about it. So, next week we'll pick another one. We'll pick something, something that's a little more like current and ongoing. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. All right, I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a really good night. And remember what I say, be kind and all that good stuff. And if you're in an area with bad storms, I hope you stay safe and I hope you stay cool and all the good things. All right, so have a happy Sunday. And I appreciate y'all, friends. I really do. So, see ya.